Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Let me show you why yesterday I had to be towed home. Yesterday, while I was driving home with this Blazer towing a trailer, I came to a stoplight, and while I was at the stoplight, I put the transmission in neutral. Once it was in neutral, the light turned green. I go forward, and this is what happened. Absolutely nothing. So now I'm at the light, the vehicle's running, the car's in neutral, no way to go, stuck. One lane traffic, cars behind me, blowing horn, truck drivers getting out, screaming at me. Let me tell you, it was some fun. Anyway, that was yesterday. This is today. Let's look underneath, see what the problem is, and what I have to do to rectify this. And there it is, right there. Trying to get this camera positioned so I can point it out. There we go. Right here. This is the cable, and it gets connected to the transmission by this little lever right here. So the inside of this looks like it just popped out. I'm going to pop this back on. This piece just goes on too easy, and it pops off just as easy. But let's go see if this is going to make a difference. Okay, you have it connected underneath. Brake on. Yes, it made a difference. I could go into gears right now, shifting in all gears, and that was the problem. I'm going to go online to check what part I need to replace that with. Whether I have to replace the whole cable, which I'm hoping that's not the case, or maybe just the end of the cable. Once I have that figured out, I'll be back to show you. All right, I'm back. I went online and I checked out AutoZone and Advance Auto, and they had this part, but it was more than double the price. Plus I had to go pick it up or pay some kind of crazy fee to have it delivered. I went to Amazon, and I have the link down below. Got a little company with me today, and it was a fraction of the price. Is the quality that much different? I don't know. We'll find out when I put it in and if it goes again. But at least now if it goes again, I know what to look for. In addition to this piece, I also purchased the lever that connects to the transmission. This is the part that connects to the transmission, and the transmission cable gets connected to here. So when you're shifting, it's pulling this up and down. I couldn't tell when I was under there yesterday how bad this was. I have to jack the vehicle up, look underneath if it's rusted out or if it's very brittle. I'll be okay, that's enough out of you. I'll be changing this also. Both these parts were purchased off Amazon, and again at a fraction of the price. This one says genuine GM parts. Again, a lot cheaper on Amazon. And this over here, a knockoff made in China, but it is what it is. I'm going to jack this Blazer up, and I'll show you how I install this. All right, I'm back outside. on this stud, I cleaned it off with a little wire brush. In here, the old bushing is stuck. I tried with various picks to get it out. I couldn't get it out. I cut the band that was holding this on, and this was already ripped. The band looked like this if you didn't see it prior. I thought it'd give me a little leverage. I could move this around a little bit more, but it didn't do anything. So there's no need to cut that off to move this around. But I can't get that old bushing out. Let me get a little better light on here, maybe. It just, no matter how I try to pick on it, I had different picks and I just can't get it out. So what I'm going to do is use a drill bit, the diameter of the bushing, to clean out the old bushing that's in there. I don't want to hook it up to the drill because if I slip, I'm laying on my side, I'm in the driveway here, and if I ruin this end, I'm going to have to change the whole cable, which is a job that's much more labor intensive than this. I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to use the drill bit to clean this out, and once I'm done, I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, I thought I'd never get it in. The old bushing, from being in there so long, was fused onto this plastic or rubber, whatever this material is. I couldn't get that drill bit in by hand. I had to use a drill to clean it out. And even after drilling it out, unless I wanted to go to an oversized bit, I had to use picks to clean it out to get this bushing in. A couple things. The bushing has like a washer on one side of it. That washer, or the flat part, the shoulder, you want to go up against the pin that's on the linkage to the transmission. And then I had that clip I put on this end. And the way I got this in, this bushing, because you're not pushing it in by hand, I can tell you that. I had several pliers down here. I had vice grips. I had these channel locks. Somewhere else over here, I had these other channel locks. The ones I found that worked the best, gave it the best grip, was this pair of channel locks right here. So use whatever you have. Once it went in, to get it through the other side, I use a socket. Let me get this. This is hard to video and hold. I'm laying under, as I mentioned before, I'm laying in the driveway. You put the socket on this side, and then you squeeze with the pliers, and you push it through, and then you put your clip on. Now all that's left for this installment is to get this bushing, push it onto that pin. It should snap. Wow, that's tight. I don't know. Now I did clean the rust off already. I'm gonna have to put the camera down because I'm gonna have to use those channel locks again, and hope this thing goes on. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more. Maybe I didn't clean it enough. Right around here. Gonna hit it with a little wire brush again, and then I'm gonna use the channel lock, snap it on. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. This is a 2000 Chevy Blazer, and this transmission cable is on the driver's side of the vehicle. This is the driver's side. I'm behind it, looking forward. There's the front of the vehicle. I'm behind it right now. And one other thing I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to get a zip tie to close this up again, because this was on here before, and this was connected before with a zip tie like it is over here. And I cut it off thinking it was going to give me leverage. No need to cut it off. So when you're doing it, just leave that on. All right, let me get that on and then I'll be back. Okay, I had some time squeezing this on, and when it went on with a loud snap. It sounded like something cracked. It was so loud. But anyway, that's on. It's on tight. How long will it last? I don't know. It was a Chinese knockoff brand that I put on there. But this was a pretty simple repair. If I knew that's all it was when I was stuck on the side of the road, a little duct tape or a little wire, I would have made it home. A little duct tape can go a long way. I would have just wrapped it around, because all this is doing is moving this level. When you move that stick shift up and down, it's moving this back and forth. I'm going to pick up all these tools, let the car off the jack, remove all the wheel chucks, start it up, run down the driveway with it, pull it back up, make sure it doesn't pop off, but I don't think this is going anywhere. Not the way that thing snapped. Let me get this together and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm not going to be able to drive forward because when I had the car jacked up, it put pressure on those wheel chucks, but let's see if we're going to start right away. Now I know the problem that transmission cable caused was starting. There were times it sounded like I had a weak battery and I would play with this lever and then the car would start right up. Or it would just, and I didn't realize that's what it was. It was driving me nuts. So if you're having trouble starting your vehicle and it's a Chevy, I don't know if this pertains to all vehicles, you know your battery's good, you can't find a big voltage drop, check that cable. Because with that cable being loose, it wasn't making the contact and it just wasn't going right. Now let's check this out now. Let's release this brake. Okay, it goes in reverse, goes in drive. Second. Okay, I'm gonna back it up a little bit here. Don't have a brake didn't release. There we go. My brake light wasn't going out. Okay, I'm in reverse now. And I have the trailer behind me. Okay. Neutral. Drive. Back to park. Okay. This was relatively a simple job. The biggest problem I had was getting that old bushing out of the end of the cable. I was concerned about ruining the end of the cable because I didn't want to have to change the whole cable. Again, the parts that I purchased were from Amazon. If you use my link down below, that's an affiliate link. And for those of you that aren't familiar with that, all that does is direct your purchase through my affiliation with Amazon. No extra charge for you. And I do get a small commission on some of the purchases that you make. It helps me to keep these videos going. And if you found this video useful, entertaining, please give it a like, share it with someone else who might be able to use this video or any other videos on my channel. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Hit that Joe Z button right here, that Joe Z button, and be sure to ring that bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. Until next time, safe driving and be well.